Hey guys, Richard here, and today I'm going to give you some practical strategies which you can implement in your life to improve and restore you back to your natural energy level. Also, I'm going to give you a root solution to this problem and help you sustain this change in the long run for the rest of your life. So, very interesting, and I'm really thrilled to be talking about this topic. So, let's crack into it. So, first of all, it should be very obvious why we are talking about this topic, because without energy, you cannot take consistent actions, and without action in your life, you cannot actually create the kind of life that you want. So very important, so to speak here. So to crack into this, we need to talk about some of the things that you shouldn't be doing. And if you are struggling with this, then my guess here is that you're actually doing some of the list of things I'm going to mention here, and you need to be willing and be honest with yourself that you are doing this, and then willing to make some substitution, because in this list of things, you need to be doing the opposite, so to speak, right? So we're going to crack into the list here. And the number one on my list here is unhealthy food. This has to be number one, and you guessed it. Unhealthy food. Now, if you're eating a lot of unhealthy food, highly fatty foods, highly processed food, soft drinks, which includes soft drinks, burgers, fries, what else? Caffeine or coffee, whatever it is that you guys drink these days. So those need to be managed, and to some extent they need to be substituted for a much healthier option. Because what's happening when you take this sort of food into your bloodstream is that basically they're just giving you peaks and then low, peaks and then low. So if you graph your food or your blood level over time on a specific day, what we're going to notice is that we have so many peaks in it, and then we have so many dips in it, and this is way too much. There's too much instability here, and that's not the way your body should be operating. Whereas if you are eating healthier options, your body will show, or your blood sugar level will show, a slightly different graph. So if you're eating low energy releasing food, basically they're gonna be injecting kind of energy into your bloodstream, kind of in a gradual way. So it can look like, the graph will look something like this. You eat something, so it kind of brings your energy level up, and then stays constant, and then goes down slightly, and then goes back up. It's very different from this kind of peak. When you say you drink that kind of Coke, it just shoots your energy level up, and then in few hours time you're just depleted, right? So those kind of scenarios, you want to start avoiding it. I mean, it's not going to work, right? It's simply not going to work if you want high energy in, or you want to be energized in your life, so to speak, right? So number 2 point here, I kind of made this fall into one umbrella, and it is negative mind food. So this includes some of the stuff you consume your mind consume, and also some of the stuff you create. For example, that includes extreme stress level. What kind of person are you? Are you constantly just stressed out, just worried about the bills? You're worried about your parents, you're worried about what other people think about you, you're worried about college, you're worried about so many things, right? And you just believe that you are inherently a very stressful person. Well, life doesn't have to be the case. I mean, most of this stuff could be managed and minimized, right? So I definitely will be talking about most of the stuff later on. But here, I just want to kind of pinpoint what you need to know here. And then secondly, on my list here is the negative people you have in your life. What are the negative people that are really kind of zapping your energy, right? Now, those include friends, family, co-workers, and all these people. How much of those people are really taking a lot of your energy and you are unaware of it? So you need to look into that aspect as well. Number 3 here is negative thinking. I think by default, most people are just running on negative thinking. So they don't know how to really deal with it, and they don't even have some of the self-coaching tools to actually manage it to such sufficient degree. So they just go on kind of thinking automatically negative and being reactive in their life. So you need to watch out for those as well. Number 4 or 3, I don't know the list here, is that you want to reduce the drama in your life, right? There's so many of you guys that just have too many dramas going on in your life. You have family chaos, you have work chaos, you have friendship chaos, and you need to look out for those as well. You need to go through your friendship and see what are the things that are zapping your energy, right? You need to look at those stuff. And number 4 or 5, again, I forgot the list here, is bad source of information. What are the kind of information that you consume on a daily basis, right? Are you consuming positive, empowering sort of information which causes you to take positive actions, or you are taking negative sort of information like news, watching excessive TV, or maybe you are even taking in neutral sort of information? These are basically watching extreme, watching TV shows and movies for extreme lengths, right? So you need to watch out for those as well. I mean, you cannot have a very energetic sort of life if all these things are running in your life. It's just simply impossible. You can't dump bale of garbage and do garbage things and then expect a very positive life. No way, it's not gonna happen, honestly. And also, I want to really make this statement here that it does take time to actually make some of this substitution, right? For me, I'm going to share my personal story, how I did this, right, about 6 years ago, and how today it's just very automatic to me, right? And before I go any further, though, I want to really give you some of the things you should be doing. I mentioned already healthy eating. Now, that should be number one in your priority right now. You should start substituting all those fatty foods, highly refined carbohydrates to slow energy releasing foods. So those include nuts, fish, vegetables, fruit. You know, the healthy choices your teacher or your parents they bang on it about. Honestly, that's what you need to go back to actually regain some of your energy level. Number two here is kind of a mental attitude. It's kind of a positive thinking thing that you could start doing here. And it's really a habit that myself I've gone into and I think will serve you the most. And it is this idea of giving everything that you've got, right? So if it's that plate you're washing, wash the plate with all the energy you've got. I kind of see this tendency with people that they're trying to conserve their energy for some future date. So they don't want to do something, so they'll be like, I'm not going to do that, whatever. Or whenever they do something, they try to conserve the energy as though there's just a limited supply of it. So, for example, what I see people doing, I play football, and what I see people doing, they come to training section, and when they are told to go around the course, they try to shortcut it and they try to do the easy thing out there, right? And for me, that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, you could stay at home if you don't want to do the training to begin with, but if you've decided to come into the training session, then you need to put everything you've got into that thing that you're doing. I remember I still know here that whenever I go on a pitch, I always say to myself, I'm going to put in a good shift. I just say to myself, oh yeah, okay, Richard, I'm going on the pitch now and I'm going to give my all. Just give your all every single day. Give your all. I don't care what it is that you are doing. Just give your all every single minute. It doesn't even have to be something big. Just practice giving your all to every single thing. I tell you, if you do this alone, oh my gosh, this is so much power right there within your control. Number 3 point I'm going to make here is positive friends and people. Have people who are positive, who are giving you solid positive information, right? This doesn't have to be, people you interact with, but it could be people you have online, or, subscribe to positive people, so to speak, because they can be a source of inspiration and they give you the motivation to actually take positive actions in your life. Then number 4 here is life purpose. You have to have a life purpose. I would say this is even far important, because if you don't have anything that you're fighting for, what's the need to wake up and do anything? Because if you don't have anything you're fighting for, hey, it's just easy to be lazy. It's easy not to go all in, right? So your life purpose and your passion, you should try and figure that out. Not you should try, you should definitely figure that out. And I talk about a lot of this in my channel here. Purpose is very important, because you can look at your life. If you don't have purpose to your life, I don't know honestly what you'll be doing, honestly, because your life is just going to be very long. And I tell you, the only way you're going to be able to sustain that life is to just buy into low consciousness stuff and do low consciousness activities. So which is probably what you're doing at the moment. And how effective is that to you? Not that effective. So honestly, just take to heart what I have to say here. Take to heart, start implementing this stuff, right? And I know it can be challenging, but I mean, everything comes at a price. So this will definitely pay massive dividends. So quickly, I'm going to share my story just to end this video. Is that I remember maybe about 6 or 7 years ago when I really radically changed my diet. And I was doing that, and now I eat clean. Most of the time I eat clean. I'll say 90% of the time, or even 95% of the time I eat clean. And I take my health very seriously. So what's happened for me is that I've implemented all the list of things I say you should do, and I've been doing that for how many years? Almost 6 years now. For me, it's almost like an automatic programming pretty much running in my mind right now. So, and for me, it feels amazing because I don't have to think about most of this stuff. It's just kind of running at the background. And just a quick story though is that I moved from a major city into a very little town, and I was training with some of the lads in football, and they were asking me, Richard, how come you're so very energetic? How come you have so much energy? And I was looking to them, I was looking at them, I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, this is just the way I operate. For me, this has become so unconscious, I don't even think about it. Whereas to those 17 years old lads, I'm 24, and to those 17 years old lads, they are looking at me, they go, this guy has a lot of energy. Because physically, I do have a lot of energy, but I don't even see it that way. That's because I've done all the work that is necessary to actually have high energy really working for me. So this is not an easy price to pay. So it's going to take you a long while to kind of offset all you know, your poor tendencies and really get a new one going for you. All right, that's it I have to say in this video. I'm signing off. Leave me your comment, let me know what you think about this video, and I should see you later, guys. Bye.